A big victory today in the United Kingdom for Oscar-winning actor Kevin Spacey. He was found not guilty of committing sex offenses against 4 men. The jury deciding the evidence not strong enough. Spacey, who's 64 years old, was acquitted of 9 charges, including sexual assault. He said he was humbled by the verdict. The accusations made against the actor date from 2001 to 2013.
I'm enormously grateful to the jury for having taken the time to examine all of the evidence and all of the facts carefully before they reach their decision. And I am humbled by the outcome today.
Well, the allegations covering a timeline when Kevin Spacey served as the artistic director of a high-profile theatre, the Old Vic in London. The actor has faced allegations and charges in both the UK and the United States. This, though, a second court victory for Spacey. He was found not guilty last October in a civil sexual assault suit that was launched against him in New York City. All right, for more, let's bring in legal analyst Ari Golkind. Ari, good to see you as always. Your take on this acquittal for Kevin Spacey in the UK today.
Good to see you too, Todd. Let's start with that acquittal from a jury of his peers in New York in a civil matter. It took that jury about 2 nanoseconds to acquit him on charges from former Rent star Anthony Rapp that any defense lawyer would have told you always seemed very weird, but they were the beginning of his downfall. He's essentially been persona non grata for 6 years. The Old Vic charges, where he was in charge of the Old Vic in London, that covered a very long period of time, over a decade. And a jury in a criminal proceeding where Mr. Spacey would have gone to jail for a significant period of time if convicted, the charges were quite serious, took just over 12 hours to deliberate. So they certainly put the work in. It was not open and shut. They had a lot to think about. And essentially the prosecution's argument was, because he was famous, he's able to do things that you and me wouldn't get away with because of his power. His defense position was, because he's famous, he's here sitting on the criminal hot seat because he's doing things that aren't criminal, but because he's famous, here he sits. And by the way, it's a money shakedown, and it looked like the jury was persuaded quite possibly by the fact that 2 of his accusers were suing him for money in a civil proceeding.
What do you think the takeaway is here?
Well, there's going to be a lot of talk today, and I think really it misses the mark of what's gone on here. There'll be a lot of talk about, look, will this prevent people from coming forward? It's he said, he said. Are allegations enough to get a jury to do it? We've had this conversation about Me Too from the time Me Too started. This was not Cosby. This was not Harvey Weinstein. This was a situation where any defense counsel would tell you these were very triable charges. I don't think it will have a chilling effect on people coming forward or not coming forward. I think that talking point is often one that makes me raise an eyebrow. The more interesting issue here, and I think from both a legal, political, and pop culture effect, is what will the result of a jury saying not guilty, the charges aren't proven, do to a man whose career was destroyed 6 years ago? And for people who like the show House of Cards, he was canned off that show and fired, but was ordered to pay $30 million to those producers as a result of the fallout from this. So as I've said from the beginning of these kinds of charges, we all get very, very heated when we see somebody charged with this. We presume them guilty. But once a jury goes, no, not guilty, do they get their life or career back? That's a really important issue. Perhaps I'm the only one who thinks it, but that's really an important one in this story.
Thanks for this, Ari. As always, good to see you.